How do you get more done in less time? This is another of these short videos to help you reach your own highest potential. My name is Jeremy Harbinson and I wrote the book on personal effectiveness. And it's based on over 35 years being a trusted advisor to lots of business leaders and lots of businesses. And one of the issues that comes up time and again is, how can I get more done in less time? It's really important because time is just a resource that none of us can increase. We can't get more time. We are all limited to about 4,000 weeks in our lives. That's a bit over 70 years. And so the best we can do is make the best use of that. Now I've heard lots and lots of seminars, I've read lots and lots of books about time management. But one of the most powerful things which I've found is simply this very simple illustration, which helps me think about how to get the best use of time. I want you to imagine that in front of me there is a table. And on this table there's a pile of rocks about the size of your fist. Quite a big pile of pebbles, just about this size, and then a pile of sand. And in front of me is a glass bowl. So I start to fill this glass bowl. I take the rocks and I start putting them into the glass bowl until in fact the glass bowl is full of rocks. Now there are still rocks left on the table. I didn't manage to get them all in, but my bowl is absolutely full of rocks. So there's no space for any more rocks. But is there space for something else? Well, now I start taking these small pebbles and I start dropping them in on top, and I shake the bowl around a bit, and what happens is the pebbles run down to fill the little gaps between the big rocks. And so I put as many pebbles in as I can. But eventually a point comes where I say, do you know what? The bowl is now absolutely full. But notice that there are still some pebbles left on the table as well as some rocks, but my bowl is full. But now I take a handful of sand and I start pouring the sand over the top of the bowl, and I shake it around a bit until the sand falls down into all the crevices between the rocks and the pebbles. And eventually I have filled the bowl absolutely full of rocks and pebbles and sand. But notice that there are still rocks and pebbles and sand left on the table, but I can't get any more in. But there is my bowl nice and full. Now let's imagine that I tip the bowl out and I separate all the rocks and pebbles and sand back into their piles again. And I start to fill my bowl again. But this time I fill it first of all with sand until the bowl is absolutely full of sand. Now I notice that there is still the sand left on the table, and there are lots of pebbles and there's a big pile of rocks. But now there's no space for anything else. This bowl is just like your life and my life, or it might be like your career or your work week. There are only so many things you can get in. The rocks represent the big important things that make a huge difference in your life, your work, and to achieving whatever goals you've set. The pebbles are the smaller things, and the sand are the myriad of small things which often can just clog up, get in the way, and deflect us from achieving the big things. So what can we learn from this bowl of rocks, sand and pebbles? Well, the key thing is that you can never manage to get all the rocks, pebbles and sand into the bowl. No matter what way you try to do it, you will never succeed in getting everything into your bowl. And some people's solution is to try to make their bowl bigger and bigger by working more and more hours. But even better is to try and make sure that your bowl is filled mainly with rocks. And that actually is the very best that you can do. And there are some things we can learn from the illustration as well, because key to success is to find a way to get the rocks in first. And that is about figuring out what things are the rocks in your life and then planning them into the bowl, putting them into the bowl first. And then once you've done that is to assess how much space is left for the pebbles and you fit them in around the margins. And then perhaps there's room for a little bit of sand. But if you allow too much sand just to automatically get into the bowl, then your life will be mainly full of sand. And you need to manage your perception, both your perception and that of others. which no matter how carefully you plan, there are always going to be some big rocks of things that you just can't fit in. But the very best you can do is have your life, your week, your day, whatever, filled mainly with rocks. It's a really powerful idea, isn't it? And I hope you can start imagining what sort of things are rocks in your life as you look over the next month in your business or your organization. What are the rocks that you want to be able to fit in? What are some of the things which are sand, which are kind of getting in the way and clogging the works up? So as you imagine these things, I love to be able to work with businesses. And you could do that if you joined one of our Reach For It online mentoring groups. The Reach For It groups work because each month I share some hints and tips which are really practical and you can apply right away in your business in a whole variety of topics. And then we get a group discussion going and we can interact together, you and me. You can ask me questions and I will do my best to answer them about how you apply these things in your business. You can also sample one of these ones completely free. You can join a group, sit in it, take part in it without any charge at all. I want you to get a chance to see whether in fact this would work for you and your organization or not. And you'll see in the link below there's a website. Go to that website and you'll get more details of the Reach For It groups and how to avail of this free offer. So I hope maybe I'll see you in one of these groups, and if not, I look forward to seeing you in another of these videos.